Why are Texas Hill Country Vineyards so expensive? One, they're rare. Two, because they take a tremendous amount of time and resources to get up and get started before you're ever producing any grapes. Well, if you've ever been interested in owning your own Hill Country Vineyard, or if you're just interested in owning your 30+ acre parcel in San Saba County, well, stick around. We're getting after it right now. Hey everybody, this is Kerry Fletcher, and this channel is all about Texas land and ranch living. The good, the bad, the ugly, the ins and outs. If that's what you want to know more about, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell. That way you're notified every time we put out a new video. And whenever you or anybody you know are ready to buy your ranch here in Texas, give me a call, shoot me an email, send me a text message. Heck, if you want to, send me a note via Pony Express. Any which way you want to reach out to me, I've got your back when moving here to Texas. Now look, I get calls and emails all the time from people who are looking for what I'm going to call small to medium acreage, anywhere from 10 to 50 acres in the Texas Hill Country, and everybody is so frustrated. Why? Because there's so little inventory, and what inventory is, it gets snapped up just like that. Take, for example, there in San Saba County, currently there's only 5 listings between 20 and 40 acres in the whole county. And I've talked to the owners, I've seen them. All of them are just unimproved land, right? There's nothing that goes along with it. Well, if you have ever hit that subscribe button and rang that bell, and you've been a follower of this channel, or heck, if this is your first time here, I have a treat for you. I have a 30-acre listing in San Saba County that is being presented here exclusively for a limited time. For those of you who are unfamiliar with San Saba and its growing wine industry, wine region, stick around. I put together a little video to give you a taste of what it's like. Whenever you're ready.
All right, so my name is Liz Keeney. I'm the assistant winemaker here at Wedding Oak. Wedding Oak, we make 100% Texas wine. We're really passionate about that, and we're excited to be part of the industry as it's kind of burgeoning and it's in kind of its nascent state. We're getting to figure out what works here in Texas and what doesn't. It's a really exciting process, and the industry is a lovely place to be. Right now there's a lot of innovation going on, and we're excited to be working in that sphere. And we're also a pretty chemistry-focused winery. My boss and I are both very nerdy about chemistry. And so, yeah, we do our best to make the highest quality wines that we can here in Texas.
Now let's talk about the property. It's January. We just got through a freeze, so the property's not much to look at. Once it gets a little bit later into the spring season and the vines start coming out and the grass is all out, I'll put together some drone footage and some pictures and some videos to present, but by that time, I'm gonna be marketing it all over the place. Okay, so this channel has always been first and foremost educational. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk through and teach it as a class and show you what makes this particular piece of property ideal for grape production. All right, well, let's get started. Let's go back to that first original question, which is, why are vineyards, our Texas Hill Country vineyards, so rare and so expensive? Well, to answer that, you really need to answer the underlying question, which is, well, what does it take to grow a grape? Well, first and foremost, we need to understand the value of time. It takes a minimum of 3 years from the time that you've planted to the time that you're going to get your first grapes. 3 years. And you can expect up to 5 years before you can get a full yield out of your crop. So I don't know how many people have 5 years to wait for a particular crop to kind of come in and start producing income off of your initial investment. The second most important thing is sunshine. San Saba County has over 200, or averages approximately 235 days of sunshine a year. Number 3 is water. You know, grapes are just these water-filled sacks of sugar, basically. And so you have to have a tremendous amount of water during that growing season, but you have to kind of throttle it back or not have too much water during the non-growing season. So this piece of property has not 1, but 2 pump systems and 2 5,000-gallon water storage tanks. They provide both redundancy as well as the ability to maintain adequate moisture during the growing season. Number 4 is the soil. Grapes require a sandy, rocky kind of soil. The kind of soil that allows moisture to seep through slowly, but not collect on the roots. There's a problem in vines and vine production. It's called root fungus. And in loamy clay soils, that black dirt soils that generally retain a lot of water, well, that doesn't work very well for grape production. This particular property, you can see that it's got a very sandy, rocky, fertile soil. You know, the soil and the soil composition is why there's so many of the Texas vineyards that are concentrated in places like the Hill Country and the high Texas plains in and around Lubbock, because the soil and the sunshine and the water is ideal. So once you do all this, once you have all this perfect environment to grow the grapes, well, one of the next most important things is you have to protect it. You have to protect it from consumption. You know, those soft little leaves and those sweet, wonderful sacks of sugary water, well, deer and goats and other animals just love to eat it up. Normally, game fencing is used by landowners to keep game within a particular piece of property so that they can manage and grow their deer population or animal population. Well, in this case, this land is protected by double high fencing, game fencing, all the way around to protect those vital grapes. And, you know, high fencing or protection really kind of leads me into the last point, which is growing grapes or growing vines to grow grapes requires a tremendous amount of equipment, specialized equipment. Everything from the H braces, T braces, cables, to provide the structure for the vines to grow on, to specialized irrigation equipment, to specialized pest control and fertilization equipment. And this piece of property has already got it there, and enough to manage and to maintain the vines that are there, plus expand and grow. Now, let's talk about the rest of the property, or the property in general. There's a total of 30.47 acres, of which, per the seller, there's about seven plus that's already dedicated and carved out for vine production. Now, those grapes that are planted and producing go into the production of both white and red wines. This piece of property has a 5,000 square foot pad that's newly been put in that offers a tremendous amount of opportunity for residential uses, commercial uses. You know, if it were me, if I had the money and was able to do it, I would love to put in a little wine tasting area, a little gift shop, a little spot, because it's right there on Highway 190. Now, this property is absolutely free of what you'd normally see out in the Texas Hill Country, which is mesquite trees, cedar trees, and other non-native pest vegetation and trees, like cactus and the such. Now, why is that so important? Well, if you really do a deep dive in, mesquite trees and cedars particularly absorb and consume so much of your water and your groundwater. They're like sponges, and they really take away the moisture that you want to have for both the grapes and whatever other type of vegetation growth that you want on the rest of the acreage. Now let's talk about that. So the other acres that are there historically have been used for and planted in row crops or hay production. So the other acreage, you can still have good income producing type of grass or vegetation. The current market price for unimproved acreage between 20 and 40 acres in San Saba County is currently $18,000 to $20,000 an acre. This is being listed, this is being presented at $20,000 an acre, which is an absolute steal if you want to have and own your own hill country vineyard that's already up and functioning. Look, you're not going to find this listing on Zillow.com or anywhere else. So if you're interested, if you want to move forward, be sure you're going to have to give me a call, shoot me a text message, send me an email. On this one, I would not rely on trying to send me a note via Pony Express. I'd love to see this property go to one of you guys before it goes out onto the broader market. So y'all go ahead and just give me a call, shoot me a text message, send me an email. Y'all have a great day. Until next time.